Today we're going to mobilize your shoulder. We're going to make it really mobile. Whether you're dealing with frozen shoulder, impingement, or just shoulder pain, you'll feel how effective our shoulder exercises are after this exercise sequence. Rest assured. We're really going to get down to the nitty-gritty now. The advantage of our exercises is they work right where the shortenings are. Please be careful. Don't do too much. Better stay a little subliminal, so you don't get any initial reactions. If it happens, don't worry, they will subside. Get in a hot bath. That totally helps. If you have the problems on the right, you go right along with me. I'll show it for the right side. If you have it on the left, please just flip it around and follow the times and instructions exactly, because that works best. Now get ready to lay on your stomach for a while. You should have a soft surface, a soft carpet. In bed is not suitable unless you have a very firm mattress, yes? We'll start by putting your right arm down on the floor at a 45-degree angle. And then you leave your upper arm like that and bend your elbow, so you get a 90-degree angle. And now you put your left leg out with your right leg behind and push yourself a little bit like you want to turn to the left. And then you notice that when you turn and keep the shoulder down as much as possible, you feel a very particular stretch that's noticeable in the front of the shoulder. You go in, and you go in so far that you feel the pain, the stretching intensity, better said, that you feel that very clearly, but that you can bear it well. And now you push against the floor with your hand, as if to bring the whole arm forward and rotate it inward. And stop the force, bring the shoulder down a little bit more, and press against the floor again with your hand. Get firmer and firmer. But stay below the limit where it gets too hard, where you can't take it well anymore. Take the strength out again. Sort yourself out a bit more. Lower the shoulder again. And press your hand against the floor again. Stop the force and turn a little more. Now come out, and we'll go to shoulder level. A little higher, like 10 degrees. And we'll angle the elbow again and do the same thing. You go into the turn to the left. By the way, if you have impingement or any other history that also limits you in movement, you always go as far into that angle as you can. And if it doesn't go any further, you practice right at the limit, even if the angle is completely different from mine. This is then your limit, and you extend it more and more. You go into the stretch. And now you press again as hard as you can into the ground with your right hand. Release. Lower the shoulder more, or already turn a little to the left. Put your left leg out a little bit to do that. And push again with the right hand as hard as you can into the floor. As if you wanted to bring the arm forward in front of your body, and at the same time, turn the upper arm inwards. And take the force out again. Go a little further. You are only a few millimeters in this angle. Always stay at the intensity you can tolerate. And press your hand against the floor. Press really hard against it. Press really hard. And again, Take the force out and intensify it a little more. And now you leave your upper arm where it is, but stretch your arm. You stretch it. Put your shoulder up. That's usually easier now. And usually, now you can turn more into the stretch. If you can twist far enough, you can also put your leg over like I'm showing right now, but you don't have to. The main thing is that you feel the appropriate stretch in your right chest, right shoulder, and right upper arm. And breathe in. Inhale deeply. Continue turning on the exhale. And inhale again. Continue turning on the exhale. And now you start pushing into the floor with your whole arm. The upper arm presses in. The elbow presses in, the forearm, the hand, everything presses down to the maximum. Even the fingers press down. And you increase the force. The harder you push, the faster you progress, because that gets your muscles used to being comfortable at greater length. And all the shoulder problems, for the very most part, are related to the muscles being too short and too tight. Take the strength back out and feel how you can go further into the stretch without reaching that critical point where you couldn't take it well. And again, press into the ground with your whole arm as hard as you can. Build up pressure as hard as you can. And take the pressure out. Go further into the stretch and press a third time. Very briefly and firmly. Going out again, going further into the stretch again. And slowly and gently turn back. And now you leave the arm as it is, but rotate it inward and try to rest the back of your hand on the floor. And now stretch in the same way in this twisted position. And then you notice that it often pulls very sharply at the front of the shoulder. This muscle strand has a lot to do with shoulder pain and shortening in this area. Get used to it first. And an increase in stretching means that you're increasingly turning your arm in. Not even turning the torso to the left, but increasingly putting the arm on the back. Turn it in further and further. And then you press the arm and the hand against the floor again. The point of this is always to teach the muscles to feel comfortable in greater length. You push really hard against the floor. Take the force out. Continue to turn the arm inward. And press against the floor again as hard as you can. Take the force out. Turn again further and stretch a little bit by turning the torso now additionally, but carefully. You notice how that pulls in, and you press again with your arm against the floor. With your hand, let go and increase a little bit again. Carefully turn out again. And now you go with the upper arm to 45 degrees, so quite steeply already. Bend the elbow, bring the right shoulder as close as possible to the floor, put the left knee out again, and turn into the stretch. Wait a moment again. You notice this is pulling quite a bit now in the same or similar spot. This is one of those bottlenecks that we unfortunately train ourselves to do by always keeping our arms in front of us and very rarely just stretching back with our arms. And now we tense the right hand and the whole arm against the floor as if the arm wanted to rotate forward and inward at the same time. That's why the hand, and increase the force, and stop the force, get a little bit further into the stretch, going a little further in, pressing arm and hand against the floor again, harder and harder, a little bit tighter. The harder you can, the better it is. You just have to stay below this critical mark. Release again further into the stretch. Push in again, put power into it. It's real strength training for the brain and for the muscles. Functional, fun, a very functional strength training. Let go again and continue into the stretch. Carefully turn back. Stay with the upper arm as it is, but now extend the elbow and go back into the stretch. Again, go into the stretch. Increasingly turn to the left. Try to keep your shoulder on the floor. If you can lift your leg over a little bit. Then you're stretching more, and at the same time, you're still stretching a little bit into the rotation of the torso. You feel the muscles there in the front give more and more. And now you're pushing against the floor again with your arm and with your hand, and increase the force. Increase the force, increase it even more. Relax and go in further. And tense again. Tense more. Release, go further in. And tense again. Tense more. Tense up even more. Strength training, maximum strength training. Letting go and going a little bit more into stretching. And then slowly twist back out. And now you need something to put underneath. I use the MIDI foam roller for that. You click up there, you'll get info on that, on our foam roller massage set. And now we put the elbow, or just above the elbow, the arm on it, and try to bring the shoulder down increasingly. So the armpit wants to go toward the floor more and more. Armpit more and more toward the floor. Coming down more and more. Coming down more and more. Coming down more. Coming down more. And now we press the elbow against the floor, but leave the armpit where it is. Press harder, let go, armpit further down. And again, the arm presses against the roller with the elbow. Repress harder, and even harder. Let go and come down further. And again, press against the roller as hard as we can. Press really hard. Let go, armpit further down. You'll notice each time after you tighten, the armpit comes down a little bit. And again, the elbow presses against the roller. Concentrate on the pressure. All the strength you have. Just the value has to be limited. The intensity has to be just okay to bear. Go, let go, and keep going down. Now you bend your elbow. Take your left hand, and with your left hand, pull the lower end of your right forearm further and further, not towards your neck, but towards your shoulder. And now we stretch into the triceps, into the extensor. And we've prepared that well. So now you're coming in much more than if you had practiced it right at the beginning. Coming deeper and deeper. That is, the armpit comes down lower and the arm flexes more. And now we push up with the right arm as if we wanted to stretch it, but we hold it with the left hand. Push more, let go, and come lower with the right armpit. And again, the right hand wants to go up and presses more and more, more and more. Take out the force, further into the stretch. We wait a moment until the tissue gives way a little again. And again, the arm pushes up as if it wants to stretch, and even more. Wanting to stretch even more, and wanting to stretch even more, and wanting to stretch even more. And let go and lower again. Lower with the armpit. Deeper with the lower end of the right forearm, and then we slowly come back out. And now I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing better. I want you to lie down on your right side. Angle your arm 90 degrees, take your left hand and push the forearm down. So that the upper arm goes into internal rotation. The shoulder must not lift, the right one, it stays down. And you press down increasingly. Increasingly press down. Breathe nicely. Always on the exhale. It goes a little bit better. And now you push your right arm as if the wrist wanted to go up. You're pushing against it. Now you notice this place again, mostly in the shoulder, which it's been about a couple of times in that area there. You let the force out and keep pushing down. And again, you press against it. More. Really press against it. Let go of the force. So letting go doesn't mean letting go. It just means taking the force out. Keep pushing down. And again, the right wrist wants to go up. You hold against, force out, and one last time further down, and then very slowly out. And as I said, do everything as far as you can, yes? And if it doesn't work that way, it doesn't matter. It works a little bit more each time. The next time already clearly more and always further, always further. Now you take the stretching strap and, by the way, the MIDI foam roller and the stretching strap, info is up there. And a thumbs up is hard to give now, but after that, maybe you can give it as a reward when you're done with the exercise. And share the video so people can get rid of their shoulder pain, that they know what they can do for themselves. And you go into the stretch with your arm extended and your chest open, not rolling your chest in, but staying completely open, increasingly backward. And now you realize it's pulling on the shoulder again in the front. But the comfort is always where it pulls the most. That's where it frees the most. Yes, therefore, enjoy it. Enjoy the renovation of your shoulder. We always say we do surgeries without knives. Yes. Meaning we have wonderful success and effectiveness, and yet we can leave everything unharmed, yes? Which is certainly the most beautiful way to repair the shoulder and go further and further back. And now we press with both hands against the floor, pressing against the floor with both hands, and let go again. And go further into the exercise, so the stretch. And now you know what it means, shoulder mobilization. That's what makes the shoulder pain go away. With these shoulder exercises, we manage to flatten and eliminate impingement, frozen shoulder, and so on, more and more eventually. And then we slowly go out again, slowly moving. Good job, super good job. Feel your shoulder. Move it a little bit. Right or left, doesn't matter. That should have made a difference already. As I said, if your shoulder is already severely damaged, it may be that you get a little backlash. Then don't get scared. We can't break anything. Never, right? It can only be that your muscles protest. Then get in the hot tub, put some bath salts in it, go to bed, and the next morning the problem is usually gone. Then you do the exercise again first thing tomorrow. And if you want to clean up your shoulder because you can only lift your arm so far or completely limited, keep feeling your way along and do the exercise every day, 6 days a week. Sacrifice those 20 minutes. It's time well spent. And drop us a comment and let us know how you did. Thanks so much for participating. If you want more to feel good in your whole body or to intensify even more in the shoulder, we've got more exercises that can help. Relief is just a click away. Click the link above to download our free guide to shoulder pain. You'll discover everything you need to know about shoulder pain and get more pain-relieving exercises you can do at home. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that here quickly so you don't miss a video. Ciao. Glad you were there.